In this video, I want to solve the triangle judgment problem. I'm going to go through the logic, talk about the problem, and give you the ways of how my thought process is to solve the problem. So I'll read the question, and then we can go and think about the logic. So the question is, Tim gets homework to identify whether 3 line segments could possibly form a triangle. However, this assignment is very heavy because there are hundreds of records to calculate. Could you help Tim by writing a query to judge whether these 3 sides can form a triangle, assuming table triangle holds the length of the 3 sides x, y, and z? So, just based on this, they're going to give us x, y, and z, and based on the sides, we want to know if it's a triangle or not. So at the end, it's going to say for the sample above, the query should return the following: x, y, and z, which is pretty much the same thing as here, and yes or no, if it's a triangle or not. So obviously, we want our logic. So the first thing is, what's the definition of a triangle, right? Because once we know how to calculate a triangle, then we're going to be able to do that logic, and then that'll give us yes or no. So one thing we can do is actually a triangle, and I can write the definition here, is pretty much valid if the sum of its 2 sides, or any 2 sides pretty much, is greater than the 3rd side. So if you have x and y, I'm assuming this must be greater than z, because if a triangle is valid, if the sum of its 2 sides, so x plus y, is greater than z, and we can do x plus z must be greater than y, and y plus z must be greater than x. So this is pretty much the logic, because if we're going, a triangle is valid if the sum of its 2 sides, or any 2 sides, is greater than the 3rd side, which we can say if x plus y is greater than z, or x plus z is greater than y, or y plus z is greater than x, then it's true, else is false. So, I mean, one way we can do this, obviously we're going to have x, y, z in the table, so we're going to want to do x, y, z. So x, y, z, because it's going to show us the whole table. And obviously we want a new column called triangle. And so this is going to be, something as triangle. And we will define what this something is, because we're going to have something, and this is going to be called triangle. Then we're going to do from triangle, which is a table where, x plus y is greater to z. And here you can do the logic, and it's pretty easy. You could do x plus y is greater than z, and x plus z is greater than y, and y plus z is greater than x. And obviously, this could, in theory, work. Let's say that we just did this, and this is our output, which would give us if x plus y is z, and x plus z is greater than y, and y plus z is greater than x. So we get the value 10, 20, 15. So technically here it is a triangle. So is yes. But how are we gonna get that logic, or is that something, to make sure that this says yes? So one thing we can actually do is, in SQL, we can actually write like a case. So here I'm going to do select x, y, z, and then I'm going to write a case. And this case is going to be as, here, as we had as triangle, is going to be as triangle. So here I'm going to actually write my logic. And actually, you can, and then from triangle, because that's a database. And this right here will do my logic and just give me yes or no for this column. So I won't even need a where. And I'm going to show you. So we already know what the logic is, and the logic is x plus y is greater than z, and x plus z is greater than y, and y plus z is greater than x. So here, what I would do would be, or would put when x plus y is greater than z, and x plus z is greater than y, and y plus z is greater than x. Then I can say then, obviously if this is the case, then you would have to say yes, and else, then we just say no. And then whatever the answer is going to give us yes and no is going to be just called triangle, which is what we want for this column. So we run this code, we actually get error. That's because I forgot the comma. And then trying to see, okay, actually it's because this is supposed to be right here. So just run this code again as triangle. And actually, when you have a case, something which I also forgot is right end. Table says triangle does not exist. And that's because I also wrote it wrong, which is okay. And see, it accepted my request. So pretty much we have x, y, and z, which is exactly what I want. And for this last column, I can just do that logic right here and name it as triangle. And then we're just reading from the triangle base. And then if I submit this, it should work. It should pass every test case. And as you can see, it passes every test case. And that is the problem, triangle judgment. If you guys have any questions, let me know.